Welcome to another episode of Gino Thanks, the podcast. And I brought back Joey. Had to.
What's happening, y'all?
What's
How
up?
you
What's
doing?
up?
What's good, Gino? Mino?
Not much. So I like how you messaged me like right away as soon as you got those numbers in. You were like, "Hey, look, first week." I was like, "Damn, you must really want to talk about this. I need you on here."
Well, like it because we were talking about it on the last time we were talking on the podcast that this album is kind of going to be the mark and measure of what cancel culture not only can do, but just if somebody can come back and their music shine over their antics. And yeah, man, I mean, what did you think based off of what you saw?
I really like the album no matter what. It's still something that I'm going to play on repeat. I have been playing on repeat. I will say I think a lot of it is because he released a lot of songs off of the album. You know what I'm saying? And those were the best songs. He picked the perfect ones to release. But he did a little too much singing on this one. I like certain songs like Ava, I think the last track that was on there. I think that was like one of the best. That and Wait, right. I think were like the two best songs.
I liked Wait too. The way it came in off the Locked Up Akon shit was kind of it seemed kind of pandery and corny, to be real, like as far as like how that came in. But it was like, to me, it was an average, above average album. I think, like, I mean, if we can be objective, he shouldn't put out any more albums, bro. Like, he just has too much success on his like singles, and I don't think there's like so much depth to Tekashi that, you know, he has to continue to make projects and everything. Did
you happen to catch like the interviews that he did?
I heard some of them, and I actually read a couple of them and stuff. What did you think about him? Like they were kind of.
I didn't see. I know he did. I think it was like the Forbes interview. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying he did like a video interview. He was on the Impulsive channel with Logan Paul, and then he did one with the Shade Room. I
actually didn't see any one of those.
He tells everything. Like, you need to watch it. That honestly, if you want an honest opinion, those interviews are better than the album.
Well, I bet. Well, and that's kind of that's you know, right in line with Tekashi, man. His content has always been dope. I mean, he has good music and everything, but I think majority of his popularity comes from his antics. Just to be honest with you. I mean, like, objectively speaking, what did he sell his first week? Like all together, it was 55,000 units. It was 30,000.
What do you consider all together? That's not all together if they disqualified some bundles. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I know this much. Big Sean last week didn't have that problem because Big Sean sold 190 something thousand records.
I did listen to. I listened to one track off of that, but I wasn't trying to give it the numbers, so I didn't. And not that I like Big Sean. I like Big Sean. I've just never like felt compelled to listen. I've never downloaded a Big Sean album. Like, I like his singles, I watch his videos, but I've never been like, I need to get this. I don't know. Did you listen to it? You listened to the whole thing?
I let it play through and everything. I didn't like, you know, give it a deep dive or anything, but it sounds good. It's, you know, Sean is a great rapper.
Yeah, I know. He's a solid artist, definitely.
He's a very, you know, he's a veteran in this shit. And that's what I'm saying though. Like, we need to find out now, as, you know, not only the consumer, but like through Billboard, through these labels and stuff and everything. We need to start to figure out what actually sticks, because objectively, if you have over 1 billion views on YouTube, what's up, my love? How you doing? You look beautiful. Thank you. Sorry.
You're good.
Objectively, if you have 1 billion views on YouTube, you know, that should translate to more than 55,000 sales in your first week. It's like, with that kind of anticipation, it's got to translate to more. So what's the metric now that we're measuring off of, you know, what's a successful artist and everything, and what's Billboard worthy? Because Sean, and then you have Pop Smoke, who sold 90,000 units. after his third or fourth week being out, or excuse me, his fifth week being out, and that was number 2 on the Billboard for rap and stuff. So like, what is the metric of what's popular and what sells?
And that's what I'm saying. It's like Billboard is basically showing that they're just a popularity contest. Is that, you know what I'm saying? That's not a good look for them, right?
I would argue the other way around. I would argue that YouTube views are your and likes are your popularity contest, and that your actual sales are more so your
But no, that's what I'm saying. I feel like
those artists sold. Tekashi didn't.
6ix9ine sold, but they don't count. If 6ix9ine wanted to be petty, he could show you how much they could show you how if he pulled up like his receipts on the hoodies and the physical CDs. I'm gonna be real honest though. Like when Gooba came out, I was like, oh damn, he made a comeback. He delivered, and I felt I wanted to buy the CD. This one I really had to like think about it, and I really didn't buy the CD. And the only reason why I would do it is to help the numbers, and then I found out that they didn't count anyway.
Well, buying an actual like compact disc wouldn't count towards the numbers,
right? Because he sold them bundled with a digital copy or something, so they disqualified anything that was like that.
I don't know the rules and all that stuff. I know this. And I don't know the rules for that. I know that people have been for the last 3 years. We talked about it last podcast. For the last 3 years, people have been using like bundles and manipulating certain kind of streams in order to fake numbers and all this stuff. And I don't know. I guess they're trying to limit that. I know that there are artists who didn't have that problem though.
The thing is, they did it. Well, first of all, did Big Sean have bundles for this album, and did they count those?
No, those were all
really?
No, it was like 80 grand in total album sales, and then another 110 in streaming.
So he didn't have merchandise on his site that was supposed to translate to sales.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But more people streamed Big Sean's album by like 6 times the amount margin than they did 6ix9ine's album.
Because can you see me? All right.
Yeah,
because if you download it to iTunes and you listen to it over and over, it doesn't count it as a stream because it's downloaded on your phone. So that's
I get it.
So I don't know, DJ Academic. I don't know. You follow DJ Academics? Like
I think Academics is he's kind of
cool. He said he estimated that it was about 100,000 in bundles that were disqualified. So if you take that into account, he would have beat Big Sean, because I think Big Sean had like 130,000 or something, right?
I thought it was 190 after all it was said and done. It was projected at 130, and then I think it went up. But you might be right.
Yeah, but regardless of that, 6ix9ine's album still went number 4 after being blackballed by Spotify, by Apple.
That's awesome.
It was still number 4. So
that's awesome.
I feel like if he got all that,
right. So but this is the thing. Like, do you consider 6ix9ine like a superstar platform level? Do you think he's like up there as far as popularity and what's buzzing, like with the Drakes and the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions and those guys, like the Roddy Riches and everybody? Do you put him up there with them?
I feel like, yeah, definitely.
Okay. And I don't think any one of those artists, have any. This is what it is. Like, you're starting to see this and everything because, the real artists and the real, people who are putting out good, consistent music and everything, and not relying so heavily on just, I guess, arbitrary numbers and stuff. Maybe on YouTube views and whatnot, the artists are selling. Those are all of those top caliber artists that I was telling you about. But like Drake will put out a music video and it'll get 1 billion views, but his first week of sales will also translate into like 800,000 sales on like a first week platform. And that's like superstar weird iconic shit. But if we're gonna compare this type of popularity and the type of impact that somebody's having right now, I mean, like we gotta try and find out what kind of, I guess, what is the most marketable scheme for what Tekashi, or excuse me, 6ix9ine is doing, because like this didn't do it. And he had all the things set in stone for him. He might have had some things set in front of him, like as far as hurdles to stop it, but he had every inkling. Like he got out of jail. He was making a kind of a spectacle of the fact that he was snitching. I mean, like people were responding to it positively on YouTube, and then you go to what happens when the actual album drops, and that's why I said what I said in the beginning. I think he shouldn't drop any albums. He just put singles out.
But it's like this, like you can admit though, if they didn't change the rules, because like I said, they were supposed to change it in October. They changed it. They had just happened to they decided to change it when his album came out. Right. So if they hadn't changed the rules, I mean, it's clear that he would have went #1, right?
I mean, I don't know. I can't look. If by the metric, if everything that you're saying is correct and everything, if by that metric, then he probably would have went #1.
The way I see it, it's like this. Say you're in a courtroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the lawyer says something that like gives all the info. The lawyer says something that changes the whole case, but then the judge is like, "Oh, strike that from the record," and you gotta like just take it out, pretend it didn't exist,
right?
But it does, and that's what people are doing right now. I feel like they struck it from their memory because Billboard told them to.
Right. And there's that point right there is a double-edged sword, because that could go either way. Because you're right, like it could have affected 6ix9ine sales because of the merch bundles. But it also wasn't a factor for the other artists either. They might not have put out merch because of that. And it might not have included bundle packs because they had the knowledge of that kind of thing not counting and all that stuff. So their numbers could have been even higher if that was the case. Like we don't know that. And I think that's a shortcoming on 6ix9ine's part and his management for trying to do that in order to get people to have the sales. That's a mishap on his people's part. He didn't lose out on any money, but he's not going to get the numbers that he could have potentially got, had he not done the bundle sales and it been just strictly album sales and streams. And that's why it's so fucking weird to find out what is the actual metric for success, because by all metrics, if you have several billion views on YouTube, you should be recognized as some kind of Billboard or Grammy nominated artist, regardless of what you're doing on Billboard, right?
I mean, the Grammys and Oscars, all of those are also very biased, and it's also just a huge popularity. It's if they want you to win, you win. If they don't, you don't.
I agree, but like but what's more popular than YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. So I feel like that should go above everything, and that's what I'm saying too. YouTube. Even YouTube was trying to censor him. Like they wouldn't put Tutu on the #1, even though it was clearly it clearly had more views than anything on the top 10.
Do you believe that there is a concerted effort in the industry to dim down and not give 6ix9ine his recognition, or to blackball him, to keep him away from stuff?
I didn't want to believe it, but I'm seeing it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? And like it's fucking me up, because now I'm thinking about everything. It's like if YouTube can do this, if Billboard can do this, what is the media doing? What's the news doing?
I mean, obviously, it's there's manipulation and all that stuff. I want to remain blissfully ignorant if I can in this whole subject when it comes to people being blackballed in the industry, but like that, I think what we've seen and we've been able to recognize and see over and over again is that your actual product is what's going to save you, and like the longevity of artists depends on them evolving and putting out actual sticking and good content. I said it the last time we spoke, you know, McDonald's is so fucking good. It's so fucking delicious, but it has no nutritional value to it. It has no sustenance. You're not going to be able to live off of it. You're not going to be able to revert back to it and stuff. And Tekashi 69 makes 5-star McDonald's music, dog. It's delicious. It's fucking it gives you that, you know, immediate satisfaction and everything, but there's no, you know, benefit from it, or there's no longevity. There's no, you know, nutritional value to it and everything. And that's also a testament to his album. I don't like an album to me is, you know, a whole meal plan. If you put a whole meal plan of McDonald's together, we see what the fuck happens and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why you should only put out singles, in my opinion, if you're living in the streaming age and trying to, you know, take that road that he's doing. But like
I have the perfect response to that.
Sure.
But first, I just want to ask real quick, side note, did you try the Travis Scott meal?
I did it, bro. I laughed out my ass off. Me and my
That's so random to me.
That can we recognize that Travis Scott is quite possibly one of the dopest like business guys that we've ever seen in our lifetimes. Like he's like what, 26, 27. He did that Fortnite concert right earlier this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He did that Fortnite concert where there was like, you know, hundreds of millions of people, or excuse me, tens of millions of people tuning in to watch just that shit. It was over quarantine and stuff. He kind of innovated with that. It was when he debuted that song with him and Cudi, the Scots.
Oh, Jack Boys?
So, yeah, or not even Jack Boys. It was the song. It was off that album, I think, maybe, but like,
I don't know.
Yeah. But nonetheless, like he's done that. He's going over like, dude, like he didn't approach McDonald's. McDonald's approached him, dude, like, and said, "Do you want to make some money off of being the face of a meal and shit?" Like, he's making so much money, and like McDonald's is worldwide. Like, that's amazing. Anybody outside of the country, including in the country, is going to see a Travis Scott meal and immediately get it. And I can guarantee you he's getting a cut of that shit. That's amazing. I didn't try it. I don't know if I will.
I had to get it. I was like, what
was it good though?
It wasn't bad. I mean, it's a
burger.
Yeah, it's a burger. I mean, it's like the thing that you would want on the burger anyway. Like, why don't they put lettuce on their burgers? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. It's McDonald's, bro.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they do on their Big Mac. They don't on like the double quarter pounder or whatever. But no, what I was gonna say is because you were comparing 6ix9ine to McDonald's, how McDonald's has no nutritional value. It's not. It doesn't matter. McDonald's changed fast food. Forever, I feel like he's definitely changing. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, do you think that I guess it's like one of those things. You either think he's definitely. Would you consider him like hip hop or not?
I would consider him pop.
Pop?
Because he doesn't just do hip hop. He does, reggaeton. He does Latin shit. He sings a lot. He does.
Well, you're right. Now he's trying to be like.
I mean, like, but he's rapped pretty much most of his career and stuff, especially when he was, like trying to perpetuate the gangster image and stuff and everything. But he always had all that other stuff in his pocket, and he was always able to do that. And I feel like he always, his fan base was more of a poppy fan base. It wasn't.
I mean, he's always said before that he wanted to be a rock star originally.
Right. He's an eclectic
artist. I see that. This album kind of reminded me of when you remember when Lil Wayne was going rock, and like the album was kind of like a mashup. That's kind of what this album kind of reminds me of. It's not his typical like.
Right. No, it wasn't his typical album. I agree with you 100% on that. It was like he's an eclectic artist. He's just not, he can't make a, 808s and Heartbreaks. He can't make, a Kendrick album and name any one of them if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It's like a difference in that and stuff. And you made a great point. Like McDonald's changed pretty much like the whole restaurant industry, if not the entire fast food industry. And I think Tekashi has that same kind of impact. I don't think anybody will be able to live off of McDonald's ever, as opposed to somewhere else though. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same premise. Like he's innovative, he's dope, and he has talent, but it doesn't mean that it means anything.
I mean, this is obviously like this is what I was gonna say before too. It's like you heard about how he had his how he made his deal while he was still in jail. He told his label. He told his label, like, I need the deal for 13 million. Otherwise, I'm not going to talk to you guys at all when I come out. And so they did it.
That's amazing.
It's exactly. So obviously, I feel like obviously he just wanted to get this album out the way. He still has to do the one Spanish album, and he was talking about working on a documentary because apparently Showtime is working on a documentary, but they don't have like. It's not related to him at all. They're just doing it on their own. Okay. And so yeah.
That's a testament to, knowing your worth. And it's not really what your worth is, it's what you can negotiate at that point. Like he can definitely make them back more than $13 million. I know that for sure. So it's good for him.
He was saying I think he made it seem like what he was saying was Showtime offered him $2 million for him to be involved with their project, but he was like, no, why would I do that when I could make my own and make 100 million, or I don't know how much he's gonna make.
I heard, so like I listened to the Joe Budden podcast. Do you listen to him at all?
Sometimes I do, every once in a while.
They spoke on him and stuff, and they spoke on Tekashi's management and everybody trying to reach out to do him. The interview. Yeah, he did it to Gilly.
Yeah, Wayno
and all those people, and they kind of like aired him out about it and stuff. So long story short, they were reaching out to try and give out some kind of like new information or whatever, or be able to get on some kind of a platform to be able to express themselves on a hip hop platform that vehemently dismisses people.
He definitely needs to do a one-on-one interview with Charlemagne.
You think so? Again? 100%. But I think Charlemagne said he has no interest in it. And
wait, what do you mean again? When did they do that?
You listen to Brilliant Idiots and
I do, yeah.
So like he said it on that podcast on several occasions because Andrew Schultz is always giving him shit about the fact that if Tekashi 6ix9ine got out that he suck his dick.
Exactly. What Charlemagne said was if he beats the case.
Right.
He didn't beat the case.
He didn't beat the case. And but he always, it's semantics. He always, Andrew Schultz is a fucking comedian. But like he said that several times that he doesn't have any interest in doing an interview. It's like
because he would look bad. That's the only reason why he doesn't want to do it.
I think
I don't know. Continue.
Like their management was like selling it like this will be the biggest interview of Charlemagne's career. This will be the biggest interview of Joe Budden's career. This will be the biggest. I think on a numbers level it would be. I think he would give you numbers and stuff, but I think you would lose certain core fan base, people who have certain beliefs that don't align with 6ix9ine's and 6ix9ine's actions. I don't think
they struck it from their record. Too,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like
they struck it from the record, but they also know that like you're not like that's one of the 10 crack commandments, bro. You don't snitch. It's just like that's part of the culture.
It's you don't snitch on your friends. That's what it is. They were no longer his friends once they were no longer loyal to him.
Street code strictly says that you don't snitch, period. It's not even you don't snitch on your worst enemies. Like you don't switch on the people who tried to shoot up your house and everything because you try to settle it and handle it in the street. And that's basis of what people are, kind of upset about. He chose to play that game. He chose to align himself with these things. And then when things turn sour, he saved himself instead of doing what, Bobby Shmurda did. I'm not sitting here saying that I would be some kind of gangster or street guy and, stand up and everything and not snitch and everything. But I'm also not acting nor portraying that I'm a part of that lifestyle. and making money off of it and making money off of that while I'm not really affiliated with it. And that I think is what people are kind of upset about, is the fact that he took something of the culture that actual people are dealing with and that actual people went to jail for and prison for a long time. And he's out and he's kind of exploiting that in a sense to garner himself wealth and not to really add to the culture of hip hop. It's very clear that he's trying to do this to get numbers, to make money, to be at the best at what it is that he's doing. He's not trying to change the game and all that stuff. He's not trying to, do anything like that. He's trying to take from it. And that's what those people in that hip hop circle don't really respect. And that's why they wouldn't allow him on his platform.
They're the same exact people you're talking about are the same people that support Meek Mill and the same people that support Gunna, right? What's
wrong with Meek Mill?
Meek Mill, I just learned this from 6ix9ine, you know what I'm saying? But he's the CEO of Rock Nation. Desiree Perez is a snitch. She wore a wire and everything.
For what? What do you mean? Like, in what context? What does that mean? Like, how does that affect
she was no, I'm just saying for Meek Mill to be like, oh yeah, fuck snitches, blah blah blah. But he's signed to a snitch. So how is that not breaking street code? Because
she's not a gangster.
Right, and everyone said that 6ix9ine wasn't either. So why is it a problem now?
Because 6ix9ine sat up in videos and literally in music videos posted up with 9 Trey gangsters, literally claiming that shit. 6ix9ine went on Instagram lives and fucking taunted people outwardly and said, you're not going to do shit, to actual real OGs and gangsters and stuff. We can't act like none of that shit happened. Like, a lot of that stuff happened. He did a lot of that stuff to himself when he wasn't about that life. And it's exploitive. It's a business plan. It worked to some extent. It worked in a lot of places, but you burned a lot of bridges in the process of doing that and stuff. And that's just kind of, you pick your poison. Or you want to be liked by everybody, or you want to be rich, or you want to be poor and liked by everybody. And that, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really have both of them unless when you're doing the stuff that he's doing. And that's just what it is. Like, I respect him musically, and I think he makes like dope singles and shit, and I'll jam to this shit when I, in the right context, for sure. I'll never hate on him musically.
That's what I like too, though. It seems like he has had like the cheat code.
I bet you he would be wildly more popular with his music had he not been kind of, the way he was with, the exploitation of gangster and gang culture and stuff.
You think he'd be bigger?
Absolutely.
He got famous because he had rap beefs with everyone. That's how,
I think that to some extent, but when you burn all of your bridges, you become an island. And no matter how good your island is, you never are going to be able to expand.
He already surpassed them, though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
ooh,
he was the one making money for them at that point. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
at that point, you get what I'm saying though. Like, it was exploiting. They were exploiting him too.
It was a symbiotic relationship, yes, but it was a symbiotic relationship on the basis that we are offering you protection through gang culture and gang protection for you to kind of fund that for us. The way for your security.
The way I see it, it's like a game of Jenga. All right. It's like, what do you consider the piece that had everything fall? Is it them kidnapping him, or is it him snitching on them? Like, which is, you know what I'm saying? They broke the loyalty first. They broke street code first.
I don't think that's breaking. I mean, even if it's breaking street code, you don't break street code to break street code, if that makes any sense. There's levels to it. I mean, we're trying to make sense of some shit that doesn't make a whole lot of sense and everything. We just know the nuance of it and everything. Like, you keep things that are in the streets strictly. You don't bring outside shit to deal with street matters and everything. Like that's just what it is. You know, things.
That's, I no, I get it. If you're actually like they were already got caught. They were already being investigated before. You know what I'm saying? Like
they just needed that extra push, and they needed you know, that national attention push with it and stuff.
Dude, you're right. I don't know about all the people that he snitched on. I'm sure that there were some people that he did dirty and like he shouldn't have snitched on them. But as far as like, I don't know, it seemed like I would feel justified if Shotty did that to me and I snitched on something like, you know, in that situation. I feel like that's justified.
And that's and the motive is a very good thing, because did he snitch on them because he wanted to get back at them for what they did to him, or did he snitch on them with the prospect of facing a lot of time in jail?
No, what he said was like, look, why would I, if we're all in jail, why would I not snitch so I can get in the same jail as all of them, and they're gonna kill me in jail anyway? Like, so he's like, what's the point? If they're gonna want to kill me if I snitch, if I get out, at least I'm gonna be out. If I don't snitch and I get arrested and I'm in jail forever, they're gonna want to kill me in there too.
Right.
So I totally.
We can't omit the fact that he was like, even if he wasn't a part of that, he was still doing illegal shit. You know, he got caught up in a lot of things,
yeah.
And he did get caught up in, you know, sending out death threats to people and putting out hits for money. You know, he was racketeering more or less and shit. And you know, one of the things that he perpetuated got somebody who was innocent shot. And you know, like these things happened. So like he isn't a totally innocent person, and he was partaking in the street life with the guise of protection over him. And when that protection turned on him, he omitted himself from the street life and justified it with, well, they did this to me and everything. And it's more like, well, you kind of knew this risk going into that, and you kind of knew the risk of exploiting a culture and a kind of thing that you don't really understand. And I think the fact that a bunch of people went away in prison was that Jenga piece that you're talking about. Once people around him started going to prison, and then you saw him get out in way less time for more or less being the same amount of guilty as these individuals, it's like, haha, I snitched on these people and I made a mockery of this culture that is a huge part of hip hop culture, and I'm still making money while people are more or less in jail and stuff. And I'm going to stay on Instagram and kind of laugh about it. While I respect and understand the nuance and know that it's a business plan, people won't want to fuck with him because of that. And I understand that. So like, let's pick your poison.
You're right. I don't know. I just see it as like, maybe I'm biased just because I'm a fan, but I feel like they just needed a face. Like if there was ever a time where I don't feel like he necessarily wanted to put a hit out on anyone. I feel like someone said, hey, we need you on video putting the hit out on this person. That's how I personally feel, but I don't know.
I can't call it.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't know. But at the end of the day, he was on camera saying that shit. So like,
you're right.
So like, it's like, and he's like, he was 22 at the time. So like, I can't shoot him too much bail. If you're on camera saying, yo, somebody go kill Chief Keef for 10 stacks, and then somebody shoots at Chief Keef, like.
Did you watch my last not my last one, but the podcast with Helen when we were talking about 6ix9ine?
Yeah.
That blew my mind when I found out his girlfriend is the one that Cardi B is like suing or whatever. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think all that shit is so damn petty. Like it's so weird. Like I feel like his girlfriend is like, what do you think about her? Do you think she's
I love her. What are you talking about?
I think she's kind of using this entire situation to her, you know, financial benefit and everything too.
I think she really loves him.
Yeah.
You don't think so? You're right, because you're right. He could have been another Bobby Shmurda. She didn't know that. She was still like with him from the beginning.
Right. But like I feel like she said like several bad things about him. Right.
What'd she say?
I thought, well. Or was that somebody else that he was fucking with, or one of his other baby mamas?
Sarah Molina?
Yeah.
Sarah Molina always says some bad shit about him.
Oh, I'm uninformed. No, then I didn't know that. Like, and I mean, why is she? So why is Cardi B suing her though? Like, for what
I'm
reason?
not I'm not sure if it's exactly because 6ix9ine's girlfriend Jade, she has a twin sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if it's actually them two or if it's another bartender, but they were bartenders supposedly. And
Mm.
Cardi B got someone to like go in there and attack them and like throw bottles and stuff at them. Allegedly, I gotta practice saying
That's
allegedly.
just right. Allegedly, yeah.
I gotta practice that shit. But so yeah, that's why that explains all the shit with him snitching on Cardi B in court and why they would use Black China in a video when Cardi did, and why Cardi B would be copying the merch bundles with the cassette tapes and the like, you know what I'm saying? That I feel like that explains all that shit.
Man, I mean, like, I'm gonna be real with you. I think it's all like it's kind of hearsay and it's kind of petty at the end of the day with all that shit. These people have way too much damn money to be sending people in the bars and trying to fight people and all that stuff, and then carrying on with a lawsuit afterwards. That shit is. I didn't know that that was happening. I'm still trying to kind of process it a little bit. That's kind of insane to me. I mean, the picture that you've always painted is that the odds and the industry and people are against 6ix9ine. I have a question for that. And do you think any of that is justified in any sense, even a little bit?
Of him being like the bad guy.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like he puts on that image, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like you got to. And it's not like, but him, I feel like, I don't know. Anytime I watch his interviews, back in the day, it was like the Breakfast Club interviews, and it was like you got to see who he really was. I feel like he did it again with these past couple interviews because I've seen some people in the comments. They were like, "Oh wow, he's actually like a really smart guy," and like you can tell when he talks that he knows what he's talking about. Yeah,
very smart.
So
I think he's been smart, dude. Like, yeah, I think he's a very smart guy. But like,
so
go ahead, sorry.
It's justified in that he's giving the people what they want. They want to have a problem, so he's like, "I'm gonna give you guys a problem." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see it.
Do you think playing that role and having that role in the industry comes with at the expense of the things that are happening to him, as far as the industry? What you say is like not really like accepting him, and certain artists are kind of like doing things towards him and shit. And
I don't see, like, for example, do you know about like Nielsen ratings?
No, I don't. Like, explain that briefly if you can.
Nielsen ratings are how they. It's how, well, I don't know. I know it as far as TV. When they look up like TV ratings, that's what they go by. Billboard, I thought, was similar to that, but I didn't know Billboard could like pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay,
I'm pretty sure with TV, it's not like they're gonna be like, oh, if you, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these views don't count.
Right.
I don't see that happening. Has that ever happened on TV? Have you heard of that?
I don't know. I don't know enough about how TV, views and stuff are counted and everything. So I truthfully couldn't, speak to it.
I don't feel like you could manipulate them as much as you can manipulate music.
Sure. I mean, maybe or maybe not. Maybe they are manipulating it heavily and we just don't know about it or care.
Right. I just thought about it. It's just changing. Yeah. Like they did that back in the day because it was radio and TV, but now it's you can
streaming. Yeah.
Stuff too. So I guess there are stream farms for TV too.
It could be but you never really know. Like you can't. These are the things that we have to try and start to measure these metrics by, man. Like if you want to be objective about it, The Office or Always Sunny in Philadelphia should win an Emmy every single year for the most popular TV show for like past seasons and shit. Like because people go on Netflix or on Hulu and shit and stream just these things all the time. So like, what's the metric now? How do we measure who's watching what and stuff? And I don't know. Like, are they being manipulated? Are certain things counting if you watch it more than one time? I watched the same episode of Rick and Morty at least 20 times within a week's time. Did all those count, or did it only count one per day? You know, like
I don't know.
Like, you know, like does that what is that? Nobody ever asked that question because, you know, everybody's making enough money off of, you know,
But
TV and streaming
at the same time, you want to talk about like people being petty and stuff, right? Like, did you see the interview that 6ix9ine did with Billboard?
Yeah.
Why was the dude wearing a Drake shirt for his interview with 6ix9ine? He was trolling him, right?
It was funny. But like, why can't he do that to 6ix9ine when 6ix9ine does that to everybody?
I feel like that's fine if he did just that, but what he did was do that, and then he blackballed him off of Billboard. They changed the rules after that interview. I feel like
I don't think it was after the interview though. Like, I can't feasibly give him an out on that. I can't say like, yo, you didn't know that they weren't going to do that.
I have a question. So Cardi B, when when WAP came out and she like broke records or whatever, do you praise her for that?
Do I praise her for that?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, she really had that #1 song, like blah blah blah.
Man, I gave her. I think
do you think,
you put two. What?
Right. I'm saying, like, do you think if we removed her bundles, that you would feel this? Would she still be #1 if we removed all the merch she sold and her? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that's a very, very smart marketing tool. I think you should put out a very high-profile and controversial video and then sell your merch right after that. Like, why not do that?
I'm saying I want to know what the numbers are if they were to have changed the rule then. Right.
I don't know. Was WAP a release that got released with bundles in a digital package and stuff?
Yeah.
As a single.
Right.
Okay. Did Tekashi do that with any of his singles?
He did it with all his singles and then the album too.
Okay. Was he #1 on that? Because the metric didn't change for him there.
Yeah, right. He was #3 on Gooba. No, I think they blackballed him then too. I think they did
blackball him. Like, I'm using your metric by it. Like if you just said he used bundles for his singles and stuff. If you use bundles for your single, you shouldn't have the problem that everybody else is having. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you know what your metric and what is going to be measured on, it's your fault if when you try to sell merch or certain things and you are selling it with the intent of it being counted towards your album sales, that they aren't. It's your fault. That's your fault 100%. Because like, if you're about to release an album, what label is he under?
10K Projects or something.
It is astronomically unprofessional, and he should fire them if they didn't know that they couldn't sell bundle package and get album sales.
No, they knew that they could. Billboard decided to change the rules at the last minute.
Are you sure about that? Are you 100% sure about that? Because I can't speak for anybody else. I think 1 billion YouTube views counts to more than 30,000 album sales and streams.
It's also like, you gotta remember, he's famous worldwide. Billboard is only counting US. But
right.
I don't know. When he was on the Logan Paul show, he said it, and Logan Paul also said it. Or I'm not sure if one of the co-hosts did, but isn't he a rapper too? Or him and his brother's a rapper. So I feel like they know that info. So they both verified that rule was supposed to change in October.
Sure. Look, and if that was supposed to change in October, then it was supposed to change in October. But Sean, like I said, Sean dropped the same time he did.
I feel like he had insider information. Like,
how? How would he have insider information?
Do that Billboard. What are you talking about? Isn't he cool with Drake?
Sean?
Are they? I don't know. You're right. Maybe they're not.
I don't know. I don't know who's cool with who in the industry. I'm looking up right now. Big Sean bundle package.
I didn't see any bundle packages, but I wasn't looking for it either.
Right.
But
now I'm gonna see if he sold bundle package. I think it's up to Billboard and these labels and stuff to inform us as consumers and as artists, you know, what is counted as you know, Billboard worthy, you know, material. I don't know anymore what a stream is. Like, what does a stream do? And what, like, how many streams equate to, you know, album sales
Oh
based
yeah,
off of what?
that's true, because just recently they did change YouTube
Yep.
to be like each view it really only counts as like a third of a stream or 2/3 of a stream or something like
Right.
that.
Like I know that if you have a premium Spotify account, that if you listen to one track, that if one track gets 100 plays, that counts as excuse me, 100 plays, it counts as one single purchase, which is a 99 cents. And if you get 1,000 plays on that single, then that single will equate to one album sale.
Is that normal numbers?
That's what it said. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a Spotify premium account and it plays your song, every 660 songs counts as one single sale. And then every 6,000,
it goes from 100 to 600.
660, yes, if you don't have a premium account. But that it varies now, because like there's other platforms like Deezer and Tidal that are only subscription based, but Deezer will give you one single sale for 35 streams. So like, what's the metric that they're using? How are they compiling all these different streaming sites and all this stuff? How are they compiling TikTok? How are they compiling YouTube into what they should be doing? I guess I'm 100% positive into factoring in.
I heard they were using TikTok to add to streams. That counts as streams. What the fuck is that?
How come it's not the same with Instagram and Facebook? And again, like, why is YouTube not a metric on Billboard?
I feel like it's because YouTube is too easily manipulated.
It might be. It also might be just too large of a platform to some extent, that people can, you know, just keep playing over and over. Like if you have 6 devices in your house, you know, you can compile a very large number of plays very fast. I've seen it happen before. Those are like mini streaming farms and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I'm with you, dude. I have no idea why they don't use YouTube as a viable source for what is successful on Billboard. I don't know,
because like back in the day, my friend had this contest, and it was like whoever gets the most likes on YouTube wins the contest. And I found this site that like you could buy likes, so I bought the likes. She won the contest. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude. Like, no, but you can do that, but those are also bots. I think they have things that fight against those and don't count those and stuff. I don't know though.
I don't know, because just as recently as Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber song coming out, they have been known to use 6 credit cards, right? Like that was that a fact? I never saw Billboard deny that.
That was 100% a fact. That was 100% a fact. Like, yes, like I don't know what exactly those were used for. They could just be using those credit cards, different credit cards, to set up playlist placement or whatever it is. I don't know if it's for exactly farming streams, reviews and stuff. But again, it's a tactic, and everybody's using it. Everybody's trying to find out what's doable and how you can do it and what you can get away with the most within this era where, you know, it was strictly just album CD sales and shit. And
I don't know. Do you listen to The Baby?
Yeah.
That song Rockstar, you like that song?
I do.
But was it like worth it? It was number 1 for like a long time, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how no one was playing it. It was just still on those playlists that everyone had while they were working out or while they were driving.
The Baby is really popular here.
I know. I mean, he's amazing, but I feel like that. I don't know. I thought even, you know, I'm not just singling him out. Like back in the day when like Post Malone had like, I never understand how he goes number 1.
Post Malone is a talented son of a bitch, man. But
it's like
sing and make music.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, you're right. I don't listen to the radio a lot, but I feel like if he was number one, I feel like the times that I do listen to the radio, I should hear him more often.
Right.
But like, I don't hear that stuff.
I've been very, very humbled in the sense that I know that music is very regional. Like one region or one sub region can make you go, especially in these streaming times and everything, can make you very, very popular musically. So it doesn't take but like truthfully, a couple thousand people from one area to really like your music and to stream your album pretty much once a day or whatever and stuff for a little while for you built up as some kind of internet following and internet streams and all that stuff. And it's really regional. So like what's popular down here in Florida is not on some end, it's not going to be as popular up there. Like people down here still play XXXTentacion almost religiously on a daily basis, where I'm sure, because I mean anywhere else I've gone out of state, people aren't really playing him that much, and nor do they know a lot about him. But he's still streaming a lot and on the algorithm heavily because of it and stuff. So music is really like the baby, like Rockstar down here, like you got to be on the beach at one of these beach parties and hear Rockstar. Then you'll understand why that shit was number one for a while, because 50,000 college kids had a beach experience and they heard Rockstar and it stuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really regional. It's where you are. And the baby is really talented. Like he's dope. Like he actually can rap, and he's, I'll shoot him a little like no bail either. Like a lot of his shit sounds and stuff too, and it's going to be hard for him to maintain a lot of that stuff that he's doing right now. But for right now, he's dope. He's white hot.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I just don't see him. He's not doing the numbers that 6ix9ine is doing. And I don't know. It's like weird to think that like those are, I don't know, like I don't know what side of it is, because I know that stream farms exist, but it's like it's hard to accept that is that really what 6ix9ine is doing.
I mean, it to some extent it is, man. Like who is like he interacting with? Who is he like, shaking hands with? Who is he talking to on a daily basis and stuff? And who is he able to interact with now that, everything's happened and he's out of jail and all this shit? I think when you can't move in certain ways and stuff, it certainly hinders, how you can get out there and the people you can cross-platform make a fan out of. Again, like he's such a polarizing figure that we've never seen anything like him as far as marketing or music and stuff. So we don't know what's actually happening as far as his popularity. I guess there are diehard fans. I look at it objectively as possible, that he makes dope music, but he's been kind of stupid with his outside shit as well, even though I think it's funny.
I don't know. What other artists you've been listening to though?
Right now, I've been listening to a lot of local artists around my area and stuff. It's not a lot of people you would know. Mostly my one of my good friends, my homeboy Psych Montano. You can stream his shit anywhere. He's on, or visit his website www.psychmontano.com.
Psych like really, PSYC.
Yeah, PSYCH, and then Montana with an O at the end. He's this cat from Long Island. He's just really dope. He's got a excellent flow, eclectic style. Cambada. You ever heard of this cat called Cambada?
No.
He's a guy from New Haven, Connecticut, but I guess is in New York right now. Lived in Tampa for a little while. He's a god level MC, just really crazy with his shit. You can find him anywhere. But no, man, like I think I've reached that point in time where I've stopped kind of looking for new people until they really super show me something. I've just been on Pop Smoke lately, and then like my
album was great too. I feel like that album was another one that didn't. Well, I think it didn't reach. Was it like top 10? It
No,
was.
yeah, Pop Smoke was #1 for 2 weeks in a row.
I
And
just
then
saw. I feel like because that came out. I think we talked about this last time. It came out at the same time as Juice World, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
Juice World, I feel like was doing better than Pop Smoke.
Juice World's took a little bit. It got to #1 and then it stopped at #1 for a little bit. And then it came back like a month later for whatever reason. I guess because people weren't dropping shit. And that album was really, really, really good too. But like, I have a problem with listening to albums like so close to people dying and everything and stuff. And like, it's even hard for me to listen to Pop Smoke now and stuff because, you know, it's just weird. Like, I remember like literally being up in New York and up there with my people and shit, and just walking down, you know, Brooklyn and hearing people bumping that shit all the time, like loving that man and stuff. And then like a month later, he's dead. And
That's what
like,
I'm saying. Like that's a song. Like I heard him first on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Because he was actually that popular. And it's like, you know, as rarely as I listen to the radio, because usually I'll have like, you know, my phone on or I'll have a CD or something in my car. But I actually heard that. So how come I'm not hearing all these other artists that happen to get? I don't know. There's this one dude that my friend really likes, and his name is like Mercules. Have you heard of this guy?
I've heard the name. I've not. I can't pick him out.
Yeah, I had never heard of him until my friend started talking about him, and then I started like looking at his songs, and it's like he would make top 10 sometimes on Billboard, and I'm like, I'd never heard this guy. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But you're right. I guess it's just regional. It depends on if you have a huge following where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of Mercules. I guess somebody from wherever he's from, like he has a following wherever he's from who's streaming shit.
I think he would rap with like Lil White or something like that.
Oh,
like,
word. I love Lil White. Yeah, dog. It's just like to keep going from what we were saying. It's hard to listen to these guys and stuff because like Nipsey Hussle, Mac Miller, XXX, Juice World, Pop Smoke, man, these were, you know, superstars and young ones at that. Not so much even Nip. Like Nip was just like a cultural impact death and stuff. But like hearing these guys and knowing that, you know, they were alive as much as 2 years ago and that they were, you know, making huge waves in the culture of hip hop and just being active and you know, us coming up with them and stuff. Dude, I used to listen to Mac Miller back in the day when me and you used to chill up in Bowie and stuff. Like,
I never even really listened to him like that either, though.
but you knew about him though. But like, yeah, just hearing those people, you know, knowing that they, you know, passed and everything. It's just an eerie feeling, and it's, you know, rest in peace to all those guys, and we got to do better.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know when. So are you not gonna watch what's it called? Are you not gonna watch Black Panther anymore because Chadwick Boseman died? Like,
That one hurt too. I'm gonna definitely watch Black Panther because I think it's more important than just a movie, and it'll be interesting on just a aesthetic feel who they cast next. I want to see, you know, how he will, you know, take that role because that was a very important cultural event. It wasn't just a movie; it was just a huge cultural event. And you know, this Chadwick Boseman's untimely passing, mixed in with the fact that they kind of have to continue on with that series, it'll be very interesting. It'll be very sad too. You know, I don't. If anything is apparent, is that, you know, our mortality is very, very apparent. So we have to really give people the flowers that they deserve while they're still here, and also, you know, not take shit for granted ourselves because, you know, Black Panther died, bro. That shit is crazy.
That's what I'm saying too. Like, just to take it back to like, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing too much. Never mind.
Oh, go ahead, run
To
it.
take it back to take it back to like 6ix9ine, it's like
Mhm.
because people like to be like, oh yeah, it's really inspiring that Chadwick Boseman would do all these movies while he has cancer,
Mhm.
but at the same time, 6ix9ine is also saying like, hey, look, I could die. I'm still giving you guys all these songs. I'm still gonna be rapping about the same shit. And I
Right.
feel like that's also why people like it. It's like he's unlike Juice World, or I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe, but like he's making music now that he's like, I know you're gonna listen to this when I'm dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
he's expecting you to because he's almost thinking that he's gonna die in the middle of making the video for it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I mean, that's I can't question his motive about that. I know that people will definitely listen to 6ix9ine when and if he does die an untimely death. Um, but I don't know if it will be because it's because they loved his music and they were you know mad at the potential that was lost from him. It'd be more so as a remembrance type thing and damn, we missed this guy type shit. I like. Did you like XXX Tentacion?
I did. I'll be honest. I only listened to him after he died, but
Mm-hmm.
I did like that. I did like a couple tracks, like the Moonlight. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's like one of my favorite tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another song that he did where it was that it where it was on guitar.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
no, no,
all,
yeah. He that was the Enigma album that came out right before he died, and then he died right after that. Um, but yeah, just like these kind of guys, like aside from like XXX Tentacion was an example of what 6ix9ine was on an internet troll sense. Only I feel like his music and his industry connections were going to sprout him into having a superstar career, and he wasn't going to squander that. Um, there's a stark difference in the way both of those instances ended up. Obviously, XXX is gone and stuff, but it's the same kind of premise. Like, you just don't want to see that happen to somebody. You'd rather see them just turn their shit around and everything and just come with the music, because both are extremely talented. And right now we're remembering one of them and we're hating or revering another one. So like I know that there's money on 6ix9ine's head. I know that people don't like him and all that stuff. I think most, if not all of it, is self-induced to some extent. I think everything is that's negative is somewhat of a symptom of the things that he's done in the past, and there shouldn't be any victim blaming or victimhood in his particular lane. That's what comes along with being a troll. What comes along with kind of you know being who you are around people who aren't like you. And sure, that's people are going to love him for that, but a lot of people are going to hate him for it too. And we're seeing why. We're seeing the symptoms of it, and that's just what it is. If there was any remorseful or apology from 6ix9ine, you probably see a lot of his fans drop off, but you probably see a lot more be willing to embrace him too. But there's none of that in him.
I don't know. My whole thing is like, do you follow him on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the little post he did? It was like a story where he was like talking about like, oh, I love you, Jay. Like, no matter what anyone else thinks, blah blah blah.
I think that's good. I think you should love the ones who are
I just feel like that post, like for 6ix9ine to say it, someone who is known for like, not saying, he always speaks his truth or whatever. I feel like that means a lot for him to say it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's a lot. This is a huge game, and he's playing it well. But I mean, I think there's penalties that go along with it, bro. Like, that's just really it.
True.
It's not a. I don't think it's a check. I think he's playing a chess game. I think how we're interpreting it is a checkers game.
I feel like he's showing that it's more about the art. Like he knows that the industry can't use him.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the industry can't use him, and then so he should not try to take from it. He should make his own thing. I think that's what it is. Like he's not he can give back to kids. Like, and I love him for that. He goes to schools and he gives money out and shit. He's like somewhat of a charitable guy and all this shit. And he's, doing stuff to try and make somewhat of a difference. And then he turns right around and, says, "Fuck you niggas." Suck my dick. And like, it's just like, damn, man, like, why can't you just do that and also, let your music speak for itself at the same time? Like, you don't have to be an outspoken, disrespectful person to be who you are. That doesn't. You're sending a mixed message when you go and give a kid $100 and then also send the message to a kid who follows you on Instagram to tell somebody that you don't like to go suck my dick.
I feel like that's the same thing, because it's like when you have money, you feel like you can say certain things because you feel like you don't need anyone, so you can tell them to suck my dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure, but you shouldn't though. Your measure of people's value shouldn't be how much or respect that you give people. Shouldn't be how much money you have.
It's not that. It's not because it's.
I know you can't tell me nothing because I have money.
It's the other way around. It's like people that don't have money are being silenced, I feel like, is what it is. Really? And he's empowering them. That's how I see it.
Well, hey, if he's doing that, and I'm sure he has done that for certain people, then more power to him. I also know he's done some stupid shit too. So we've seen the first week sales. We'll see how long this album stays on Billboard, and we'll see, how it tends to progress and all that stuff. But based off the first week, it's very clear that the real artists and the real music, even in this skewed world of how things are counted, are prevailing. And when there's not nearly as much controversy, attention, and buzz going around somebody like Big Sean, and he can outdo Tekashi 6ix9ine, who seems to have all of the attention right now for multiple different reasons. It's just a testament to the method of what you're doing. I think his album could have been way more successful had he not had some of the negative things circling around him and stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot to also mention this. Did you see the extended album?
I didn't. He has an extended album. Why do artists do that? It's songs out.
It's 2 extra tracks, and one of them is the alternate Nicki Minaj Trolls version. And then the other track wasn't even all that. I'm gonna say it right now. I feel like 6ix9ine was punishing us with this. I feel like he planned for it to be like 5 new songs, but he was like, "Oh, okay, you guys want to make me number 4? I'm gonna give you guys this bullshit extended version."
Why would you do that though?
He's punishing his fans for not going hard enough. Because, like I said, I didn't feel compelled to buy the album, the CD.
Right. You're a diehard fan, bro. I'll give it to you like that. Like you make some compelling arguments for 6ix9ine. I just hope I just hope we don't have another casualty of the game and stuff. Like, I don't want.
I feel like he's planning to fake his death. I feel like he's got to be.
At this point, I wouldn't put anything past anybody. Like,
I think he already said he was like this generation's Tupac or something. He was trying to say something like that.
And do you believe that?
I mean, Not,
Don't do it.
not,
G,
not.
don't.
You can't compare the two. Not in the same way, but I see what he's going for
I
when he
understand what
says
he's going
that.
for, but
Yeah,
you can't do that, man.
exactly,
Tupac
exactly.
was a civil rights activist and shit, and was not snitching on people even when they shot him. You
True,
know,
true.
so, but yeah, man. I'm hoping that first and foremost, him and his family don't get harmed, and I hope he can continue to do what he does in his lane. And if
That's
he,
why I love Jay too, because she knows that. Yet she still chooses to be with him every day. Like,
yeah, it's an odd thing, man. That's a loyal woman, and she has every reason not to be. But
exactly.
that's good though. Like I need to. Well, I got one like that. That's for sure. So
True,
heck
true.
yeah.
But that's why I'm saying it's like hard to it's hard to be like her and like Cardi B at the same time.
Why do you need to like both of them, or why do you need to like why? Because
No,
they
because
like each other?
I do like both of them, but knowing
Right.
that they don't like each other just ruins it for me.
I mean, I don't give a damn what they think about each other. Like I was saying that earlier, man. Cardi B she has like too much money to be still. She should change objectively. She should change. I mean, she's getting dragged online by I
Candace
forgot what
Owens.
Candace Owens, like trying to be political. Candace Owens is just stepping all over her and shit.
So
I mean,
do you like Candace Owens?
no,
Oh,
no.
I'm mad. No, see, that's what I'm saying. Candace is using that as book for sales for her book.
I think everything that Candace Owens said was 100% true, though. So two things can be true.
You're right. You're right.
You know, like I think Candace Owens took the opportunity that was presented to her to not only educate but to belittle somebody in their intelligence on a public platform in order to draw attention towards
But
whatever
that's what I'm
it is
saying.
they're doing.
What business do her and Ben Shapiro have talking about Cardi B anyway? That's why it was a problem because Candace
Ben
went on the
Shapiro,
Ben Shapiro show.
right? Well, as we know, Candace Owens is a black conservative. I don't even know what you have to call it a black conservative. She's a conservative, and Ben Shapiro tends to have conservative views as well. They went on the show. Obviously, we know that Ben Shapiro got dragged online a month ago for his
And he had
rendition.
no he had no business reading the lyrics, so
He
I don't
didn't.
understand why he's
He
bringing
didn't
her up.
because he wants what he's doing is to try and exploit liberal culture and say that this is the stuff that's being pumped into the airwaves and into our children, and these are the people. He was using that and the verse from Cardi B as slander against her political views and her political stance and everything, basically saying that this is the person who's asking for free health care, this person who says I want you to do this stuff with this wet ass p word or whatever and stuff. They just expounded upon that, and Candace Owens made a very very poignant and kind of she jabbed at her a little bit, but it wasn't wrong. She was like, what
No,
kind of
literally.
bullshit like are we going like this is why we can't listen to the liberals and all this stuff, because they have literally Mrs. Wet Ass Pussy up here talking to the literal presidential candidate and making all these stark demands without any kind of plan and stuff. It was using that and the impact that Wet Ass Pussy had as a means of degrading the Democratic Party, more or less. And that was what that got into. And Cardi B chose to respond with political, rhetoric, at which point Candace Owens was doing this the whole time because that's what she does. Like she's a very, very smart one, but very much a political troll. So like, it
I
was
don't
just
know. She says
untested
like
waters.
she says some stupid shit sometimes though.
Say again?
she says some stupid shit sometimes too, though. Like if people were to pick apart her, not, I guess she doesn't have lyrics, but if you were to pick apart her sound bites, you can make anyone sound bad.
I agree.
She was talking about on the Joe Rogan show. She was like, "Oh, I don't believe in climate change. I mean, the climate changes every day."
Right.
Something like that.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and if they can back it up with research and certain elements of factual data, then sure, believe what you want to. I can't. I'm not a scientist, so me personally, I am at the mercy of people who know better than I do in that way. So like, I can't say whether or not climate change is real or not based off of my own recollection or viewing of it. I have to rely on other people to do that. So
that's what Joe Rogan was trying to explain to her, is like, at least say something like that. What she was trying to say is it's not a problem. That's what she was trying to say. Not that she doesn't know. She was like, you don't have to worry about it because the climate changes every day. Right.
And I'm sure when you're on TV and radio for thousands of hours and stuff that you're going to say a lot of stupid shit. I have no doubt about it. And I tend to not believe that, I believe that climate change is real, obviously. I think that, the data and everything is, pretty impervious that suggests that. But I would have to hear her case as to why she feels that's the case. And then I would have to, weigh on my options. I just want to be objective with how everything is and stuff. And, I'm sure she says a lot of stupid stuff. I can't quote any of it. I did watch the responses and the kind of back and forth between Cardi B and her. And Cardi B was, undoubtedly and unfortunately for our culture, exposed for being very, very clueless politically. You can have certain stark demands, you can have certain kinds of wants, needs, and representations for people who don't have a voice, which she does. But if you're going to do that, educate yourself on the matters and why things aren't the way they are, and not equate things to just the bare surface of what it looks like. And
I mean, at the same time, like I understand what you're saying. Like, it is confusing for everyone why Cardi is talking to Joe Biden, but at the end of the day, it's like what she was saying didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like if Andrew Yang thinks we could have universal basic income, then you know what I'm saying, why can't we all have free healthcare and not raise taxes? Or
I mean, we don't. It's you got to look at the economics of everything. Candace Owens was incorrect in the fact that she said you would have to tax everyone 70% in order to have universal basic income. That's based off of the current uninsured prices of what medicine and doctors and everything already provide, not what people already pay in medical insurance. That's vastly higher. The figure accurately based off of what I've been able to read on a few different sources is closer to about 33%, which is much like what they do up in Canada.
It's like what, 25 now or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit lower, but like with what we have and everything, if everybody was to be insured on a basic level and be able to have universal basic healthcare, our taxes combined with what we have and what we are being taxed now would be around 33%. That's 25% with the income or with the health insurance, and the basic 7 to 8% that we already have in federal tax. And that goes towards and allocated towards everything else. So while Candace Owens is wrong in that, it expresses the same sentiment, because Cardi B would say something like, I don't want to be taxed though. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody who's making millions of dollars and is likely getting taxed 40% of what she's being taxed, and stands to be taxed another additional 30% of what she's already making, because she wants that same thing. So she's kind of clamoring and not knowing what the fuck she's talking about or how to get to that place while still making these demands. So it's just saying that you don't have the knowledge of why you're even making these demands and where this money is coming from and stuff. You're just looking at everything on a service level and saying, well, that doesn't seem right. I want this. And we all want things and stuff. But I think what's happening now is that you have to have some sort of knowledge if you have a platform like that, if you're going to speak on political issues of that nature, which is why a lot of people who have that power don't speak on political issues like that. You know, people, you don't see Will Smith up here talking politics. You don't see, like, you know, certain people who are in this spotlight talking about politics. You've never heard of Drake.
I feel like when you don't hear about people talking politics nowadays, I feel like it's because they're secretly a Trump supporter.
That could be the case, but it also is, two things can be true. They could be a Trump supporter because, you know, Trump might be letting them off on taxes, but it could also be because they're just not very educated in politics. I'm not the most educated in politics, and I can imagine that somebody who's a master at what they're doing and their craft and what they're, you know, affiliated with, I can imagine that they might not be either. Like, why would they be? You know, like, what if you have $30 million in the bank, even after taxes and stuff? What could you possibly be worried about if your main focus is making and maintaining and doubling up that $30 million on a political sense? Like, what are they doing to take your shit away?
I don't know. The numbers that I heard that I was very interested in was the fact that I had read if we tax the churches, everyone, like the way the system is set up now, everyone's taxes would only be 3% if they tax the churches. That's crazy. They need to tax the fucking churches right now.
I mean, I don't know that. If that's the case, and it sounds correct, because
think about the Church of Scientology alone. Everyone in there is in Hollywood, so I'm sure they got a bunch of.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of super churches and stuff. I've seen memes and everything of all that. I haven't actually looked into that research, so I am not informed on that all the way. So I don't know how much it is. I can imagine that, you know, the church industrial system is really you know, missing out on a lot of, you know, taxes and stuff. Like, hell yeah, it is. You know,
honestly, like I mean, I feel, I don't know, I don't feel bad saying it, but in the back of my mind, I wonder if that's what Kanye is thinking, and that's why he wants to do the Sunday service, and that's why he wants to do a gospel album, because he wants to eventually start his own church.
Wow.
Because he's, you know, he's always been thinking business,
right?
You know, they don't want him on the board at Gap, right?
Right.
He said he's not on the board, so he has a plan B. Like, he's been thinking about this.
Might be why he moved to where he moved to, North Dakota or some shit, or
Wyoming, something. I don't know. I don't
He's
even
probably
know.
trying to avoid taxes too. I don't know about Kanye, bro. Like, we talked about it last time. I have no idea what he's doing as a marketing employee, what is genuine anymore and stuff. But what you're saying might be a great thing, and it is a great tie-in to the church, because if he can actually, you know, make everything that he does a product of his church or his religion, from merch to music to everything, he doesn't have to be taxed on it, which is a brilliant thing at the core of it. But, you know, aside from all that, you know, our allocation of money and stuff, and, you know, everything that's happening right now in the, you know, political climate, the election and stuff coming up, I think it's just, I think if we've learned anything in the past month, it's just to take a little bit of time and, you know, educate yourself on not on all of our candidates, you know, audit their pasts, audit, you know, what they stood for, audit, you know, things that they're standing for now and policies and stuff, and question them on it, and share that knowledge in an amicable and you know, knowledgeable way, and not to use your platform, whoever you are, to, you know, make a mockery of something that you're trying to support. You know, I can guarantee you that there's more people who went over to Candace Owens' side through that squabble than there are people who maintain Cardi B's, you know, fanhood of that. I think people are looking at it in two ways. I'm still going to love Cardi B's music, but Candace Owens made way more sense with what she was saying. So like, it's the same premise. By the way, I'm voting for Biden. So fuck all y'all.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bash Candace Owens either, because I do like hearing her talk.
Yeah,
it's like, it's entertaining, but I don't know. Like, you're right. I'll admit it. Candace got that one.
Yeah, I mean, but like she would get it on, I guess, most people. And Ben Shapiro, we already know what to expect out of him. Like, so
see, that's the thing. I've seen like different debates with him too, and I can tell like the different like tactics he uses in his debate. I don't like the way he debates. Like,
it's a belittling factor in somebody else's knowledge or their theory more than it is a proof of what he's saying. Yes, it sucks. He's whack at that.
I feel like I could out debate him if you gave me enough time.
If you know what you're talking about and you have the data to back it up, he can't debate you.
Exactly.
He can't debate you. He 100% can't debate you. If you hit him with data points about why it is you feel a certain way and everything, he can't dissect what you say, which is his 90% of how he debates. He just dissects what you say and then gives a basic reason as to why he feels why he does with little to no backing on it. That's just what it is. That's a very well-known tactic of his. It's never, let me prove to you why what I'm saying is true. It's just more, let me prove to you why what you're saying is wrong. So yeah, like fuck Ben Shapiro.
Exactly. Which is why I'm mad he even brought up, it's exactly what Cardi said. They're using her name for clout. Like,
they are. And Ben Shapiro knew what he was doing. He wanted to bring a black woman on to, further perpetuate his ideas and say that, it's a black woman coming onto his show to say things about black people.
Oh, I see. So that's why
he couldn't say.
It had to be her. I see.
Right. Because that he couldn't say. Like, that's just that people use people for that all the time. It's much like Joe Biden using Cardi B to say things to the black community and win their vote. The same way that these people, it's a game and everything. But if you're going to play this game, know how to play it. That's just it. Candace is a quarterback, and Cardi B's in high school football right now. So when it comes to that, so
I don't know. But just to backtrack, I just we gotta close out here a little bit. But I just want to know if you're, unless they change these laws, like, are you trying to start a church with me? We need to start our own religion, like
the Albert Gino Church.
Exactly. Have you heard of the flying Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster?
No. Is that
it's a real church.
Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Look it up. It's a real church, and if they can do it, we can do it.
100%, bro. I'm down for it all the way.
All right, but yeah, once again, tell everybody where they can find you.
Albert J Music 813 everywhere. You can find me on Facebook at Facebook /Joey Robinson. Albert J Music 813 on Instagram and on Twitter. And yeah, man, just hit me up. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere, bro. Anywhere you can find music. And
let me know in the comments if you want him to be a permanent host, because like you feel like you're trying to make this like a weekly thing. Like you hit me up like ready to talk.
Let's talk about it.
You sent me like a whole paragraph.
Straight up, bro. No, like I would love to do this on a week-to-week basis, man. But there's a lot of stuff happening, and I think this is a great way to talk about it and to process it at the same time. I'm down. Word. So hopefully I'll see you next week. Got you, my bro. All right, man. See you guys.